Chapter 4. The Most High continues his favors to Most Holy Mary on the fourth day. Still the favors and most exalted mysteries of the Most High toward our Queen and Lady in preparing her for approaching dignity of motherhood continued. The fourth day of this preparation had arrived, and at the same hour she was again raised to the abstractive vision of the divinity. But this vision was accompanied by new effects of exalted enlightenments in this most pure soul. The divine power and wisdom has no bounds or limits. To his operations only our will, or the limitation of our created nature, offers resistance. But in the will of Most Holy Mary, the divine power found no hindrance, for all her works were executed with plenitude of holiness and entirely according to the pleasure of the Lord, drawing him on, as he himself said, and wounding his heart with love. Only in so far as Most Holy Mary was a mere creature was the power of the divine arm limited, but within these limits it could act without bound or restriction, and without measure, offering her the waters of wisdom from the purest and most crystalline founts of the divinity. The Most High manifested to her in this vision, by most special enlightenments, the new law of grace, which the Redeemer of the world was to establish, the sacraments contained in it, the end for which he would leave them in his new church of the gospel, the gifts and blessings prepared for men, and his desire that all should be saved, and that all should reap the fruit of the redemption. And so great was the wisdom which the Most Holy Mary drew from these visions, wherein she was taught by the highest teacher and the corrector of the wise, that, if by any means man or angel could describe it, more books would have to be written of this science of Our Lady than all those which have been composed in this world concerning all the arts and sciences and all the inventions of men. And no wonder her science was greater than that of all other men, for into the heart and mind of our princess was emptied and exhausted the ocean of the divinity, which the sins and the evil disposition of the creatures had confined, repressed, and circumscribed. It was concealed within its own source until the proper time, which was no other than the hour in which she was chosen as mother of the only begotten of the Father. Joined with the sweetness of this divine science, our Queen felt a loving yet piercing sorrow, which this very science continued to renew. She perceived in the Most High the ineffable treasures of grace and blessings, which he had prepared for mortals, and she saw the weight of the divinity as it were inclined toward the desire of seeing all men enjoy them eternally. At the same time, she saw and considered the wicked disposition of the world, and how blindly mortals impeded the flow of these treasures, and deprived themselves of participation of the divinity. From this resulted a new kind of martyrdom, full of grief for the perdition of men, and of the desire of remedying such lamentable loss. This caused her to offer up the most exalted prayers, petitions, sacrifices, humiliations, and heroic acts of love of God and of men, in order that no one, if possible, should henceforth damn himself, and that all should recognize their Creator and Redeemer, confess him, adore, and love him. All this took place in this very vision. But as these petitions were of the same kind as those already described, I do not expatiate on them here. In conjunction therewith, the Lord showed her also the works of creation performed on the fourth day. The heavenly Princess Mary learned how and when the luminaries of heaven were formed in the firmament for dividing day and night, and for indicating the seasons, the days, and the years. How for this purpose was created the great light of heaven, the sun, presiding as the Lord of the day, and joined with it the moon, the lesser light, which reigns over the darkness of the night. In like manner were formed the stars of the eighth heaven, in order that they might gladden the night with their brilliance, and preside with their various influences over both the day and the night. She understood what was the material substance of these luminous orbs, their form, their size, their properties, their various movements, and the uniformity as well as the inequality of the planets. She knew the number of the stars and all their influences exerted upon the earth, both in regard to the living and the lifeless creatures, the effects and changes which they cause in them by these influences.